In this video, I would like to talk specifically about food and hormone balancing because food is the doorway to your health. And I know we've talked about a lot of other lifestyle practices, but I want you to recognize that food is a great way to feel better quickly. So we're going to talk about not following a bunch of rules. We're not going to be counting macros. We're not counting calories. We're not checking our calorie burn after our fitness class. I don't want you, if you do all of those things, no problem, but I don't want your food choices to cause more stress, because remember, when we're stressed, we're not metabolizing our food, we're not using our food as energy. So we want to bring down the stress, we want to bring down all the anxiety that we create around food and just enjoy it, use it to nourish our body and to build our tissues and to balance our hormones, okay? So we're gonna talk about protein, fiber, fat, and water, hydration. These are the keys, these are the pillars, this is what you wanna focus on. So instead of worrying about how much, it's possible that you need more protein. A lot of health coaches and fitness coaches, especially to build more muscle, they're encouraging us to eat more protein. That could very well be true. In my experience, I have not seen that women have trouble eating enough protein. I find that they need more vegetables, more fiber, and because we want more fiber to keep our colon clean. Remember when we were talking about the colon getting kind of gummed up? If the colon is getting gummed up because we are not digesting our food, then fiber will help fix this. Hydration, fat, healthy fats, and fiber fixes that beautiful colon of yours and helps it get ungummed. So healthy fats will keep things moving, and it's a beautiful way of lubricating your body, and fat will also help you metabolize fat. So fat is a great source of energy, but you don't want to overdo it. So just keep it a normal amount of fat, a normal amount of olive oil, avocados, nuts and seeds, sesame oil, coconut oil, even ghee or butter is just fine in small amounts. You don't need to put a half a stick of butter on your potatoes or whatever, but don't worry about all of those things. Your body tells you what you need. Especially now that you're listening more to those clues from your body wisdom. So protein is very important. Protein is important because it balances your blood sugar. So when you have an adequate amount of protein in your body, it balances your blood sugar insulin levels. And remember, insulin, if it's energy that's not used, gets stored as fat. So sugar often relates to fat storage because sometimes we have more than what our muscles are utilizing. So protein helps counter that. So when you have the right amount of protein and fiber in your diet, you are likely to have much lower sugar cravings, and you won't have those highs and lows in your energy. Protein and fiber, you need to have a lot of vegetables in your diet. We've talked about that before. And so vegetables and protein and fat and hydration. We've also talked about hydration. You need plenty of water to keep things moving, also to keep things juicy, to hydrate your stomach, to hydrate your colon, to hydrate every cell in your body needs hydration. Half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. So say you weigh 150 pounds, you need 75 ounces of water per day at a minimum. So I would say 70 to 90 is probably a good number to go for. Okay. Let's just talk. I'm not going to go crazy about this, but I just want to talk for a minute. Since we're talking about food and hormone balance, I want to talk about sugar, alcohol, and coffee. Now, I know these are tough ones. One of my best girlfriends will say, you know what, I could give up wine. I'm not giving up my coffee. And I don't know exactly why that is. We get addicted to coffee. It has a bitter taste. So in that way, the bitterness is a taste that we need, and we might be finding some kind of balance, but I think really we're looking for that shoot of energy. I think we're looking for a shot of energy. We want to get out of bed and we want to bounce up and we want to go, and we need to be on high power from the minute we wake up. This is where you can use the daylight to help jumpstart your cortisol. So this is kind of a more complex concept, so I want to keep it really simple. We can talk about this more if you'd like to. Let me know if you want to have more information about this. But your cortisol, remember, is there to help you wake up. If you go straight to the coffee without having your cortisol a chance to kick in, you're kind of replacing that mechanism of the cortisol turn on. So say you have your eyes closed and you make your way to the kitchen and the house is dark and you pour your coffee and you start to drink your coffee in order to wake up and get your day going. You're using the caffeine to jumpstart you. Your body would much rather use cortisol. Cortisol is there to help you wake up and get you going. So the sunlight is a great cortisol turn on. It's through your eyes. Your eyes absorb the light from the outside. It gives your brain, your body, the signal to flip on that cortisol, say, hey, it's time to get up, let's get going. So sunlight in the morning, the sunrise even better, getting outside if you can. This is my challenge to you. Before coffee, get the sunlight in your eyes, maybe even step outside and take a few deep breaths. Bonus points if you drink a giant glass of water, triple bonus points if you have something in your stomach, a little bit of food like breakfast or even a smoothie before coffee. Is that possible? Maybe. You might want to try it, see what happens. Let me know how that feels for you. I know this is like asking you to jump to the moon for some people who are absolutely obsessed with their coffee. Just see if you can rearrange it a little bit. Sunlight, water, and stepping outside, fresh breath, maybe a little bit of food, and then coffee. Let me know. Let me know if you give that a try. Okay, alcohol is a dehydrator. It also is a sleep disruptor. As you get older, it gets worse and worse, I promise you. I don't know exactly, our bodies start to respond differently to alcohol, mostly to wine because of the sugar content in wine. When you drink wine at night, it goes straight to fat storage, and it also has to be metabolized while you sleep. So that's why you wake up, and that's why you have hot flashes, is because your body is like, poison, poison, poison. I got to figure out what to do with this weird wine stuff. And really, that is hardest when you drinking late into the night without food. So let's just talk about this real quick. Alcohol, plenty of hydration in your body. Drink earlier in the day or earlier in the evening. Don't drink any alcohol after 7 or 8 p.m. Try that on for size and see what happens. Make sure you have food in your stomach when you're drinking alcohol, and make sure, again, like I said, you're hydrated. I call it the midnight walk. This is my favorite thing to do, especially in the summertime as the sun's going down. A little walk around the block at 9 p.m. before you go to bed. This will help metabolize. If you've had alcohol in the evening, this will help metabolize that alcohol a little bit. It gives it a little bit more of a jump start because you're moving your body and you're circulating it and you're metabolizing it. Otherwise, if you go from the couch and the wine straight to bed, and now you haven't eaten for probably 3 or 4 hours and you probably haven't drank very much water, it's kind of your body's going to say, I got to find the balance here. And it's harder to balance that insulin when you have overloaded your body. So with the alcohol, okay, I love to drink wine, don't get me wrong. And this is something that I'm making a big change in my life right now because I have got to sleep. And so anyway, we could talk again about that more too, but I hope a couple of those tips in there with the alcohol are helpful. Let's talk about sugar just for a moment. Sugar is okay in some ways. So when you have real sugar that's not processed and not refined, that is the best kind, of course, like honey or maple syrup or even coconut sugar. Those are all lower glycemic load. So if you have diabetes or if you're pre-diabetes, these sugars will still spike your insulin levels, so you have to be really careful. But if you don't have any diabetes issues or pre-diabetes issues, most people can handle maple syrup, honey, and coconut sugar without too many problems. So eating whole, real food that is dessert, stuff that's not overly processed, stuff that you make at home, sweets that you make at home. And again, when you have sugar in your diet, it's a form of energy. So the best time to have a sugar treat or a sweet treat, even if it's maple syrup or honey, or even if it's like a super healthy sweet, have it earlier in the day. Like have it around 2 in the afternoon or 3 or 4 in the afternoon. But this way, you have a chance to utilize that energy. So you're raising your blood sugar, you're raising your insulin levels when you have sugar in your diet, but if you're moving your body and you're still doing things and you're still maintaining your activity level, you're less likely to store that sugar as fat. When we have a meal, a dinner meal, and then we have a dessert after that, and then we lay on the couch and we watch TV, and then we go straight to bed, that's the kind of sugar intake that is going to be stored as fat. And your body's going to try to digest it and try to take care of it, but you're just going to bed. So your muscles aren't utilizing. You do use energy to sleep. Your body needs energy to sleep, but you're not using your muscles, you're not being active, and so that sugar gets stored as fat. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not saying any of these things to scare you or to give you a bunch of rules, but to focus on protein, fiber, fat, and hydration as your main focus. And that's easy. Just add vegetables to each one of your meals. Try to make sure you're getting the right amount of protein for your body, and you'll know when that is when you feel the right amount of fullness and when you have the right amount of energy and you're not super fatigued after you eat. So like I said, once you balance any one of these buckets of hormones, they're going to help balance all of them. So this is how you can use food to help balance those hunger hormones, the satiated hormones, especially insulin and blood sugar levels. These will all help balance your whole entire hormonal system. So thanks for being here with me today, and I'll see you again soon.